Nasrin Musrati was only 26 when she was shot to death at close range. She was the mother of two children, aged 4 and 6, who had moved to a shelter of battered Arab women suffering from domestic abuse. Nasrin was terrified that members of her husband's family would try to kill her because her husband was in jail for previous offenses of spousal abuse. Her premonition was tragically correct, but Nasrin was not the first one in her family to be sent to her death for the family's honor. Her sister Amal was killed in 2006 and no one has yet been charged with the murder. Crimes like these are seared into my soul and have become the seed of a passion that has governed my life ever since. These girls' voices were cut off, and that is why I stand before you today, both humble and proud to represent the silent voices of my sisters who cry out but cannot be heard. Why are the police not stepping in more forcefully to stop these horrific honor killings?
And I'm very proud to introduce the first speaker, Amal Abu-Sif, who's a colleague and a friend I met when last May in Jerusalem when we were doing the workshops on peace building through increasing knowledge. Amal is a doctoral candidate at Ben Gurion University in social work. She's finishing her doctorate in social work. And she's Associate Director of Kibunim, which is a program directed towards new directions and new educational programs in Jerusalem. She's committed to peacekeeping projects, collaborating with ATOP Meaningful World in research and transforming trauma. Please help me welcome Amal Abu-Sif.
Most of the women in Arab society don't have enough knowledge to know that what is their rights. So I'm trying to bring awareness for those women, and I'm trying to bring more knowledge for them that yes, you have rights and you can fight for your rights, and you need to live in freedom, and you don't need to suffer with this violence in your life.
Well, I want to thank my friend Ani Karajian about this invitation to be with all of you and to talk about Arab women in the Middle East.
Well, the year before we opened Kivunim, we were really troubled by the fact that we could not easily find an Israeli Arab instructor for the Arabic course that we decided was a critical part of our program. You need to understand as a starting point that there is no Jewish program in Israel that teaches Arabic. So this was a radical decision to begin with. We were going to teach Hebrew, obviously, but we decided that we wanted to teach the language of the other as part of the whole process of what Kivunim was all about.
What does it say in the Muslim religion about men and women? I know you.
Actually, there is a lot of topics about women in Quran, but I can tell you that the woman who empowered the Prophet Muhammad was his wife, that she was older than him, and she empowered him, she supported him and empowered him to be to do all, to done with all his message. So it can tell a lot how Prophet Muhammad was empowered from Aisha, his wife.
These problems happen because less education and less knowledge for all their rights. The most important thing to empower those women is by education. Those women should have the opportunity to go and continue their education and have a high degree and be responsible about their life and about the way that they want to be in.
Killing is not like one of the issues that I talk about it, honor killing, but it's not mentioned in the Quran. But people talk about it that it's honor killing part of the religion. It's not. It's norm. It's just in men like mind, and it's not a religious reason for killing women, for sure.
So now what was Amal signing on to? This idea for Kivunim, a gap year program for North American Jewish students between high school and college, was and is built upon the foundation of a desire to reach out beyond the Jewish world to the other. Now there are a lot of these others. One of them, the primary one, is really in the Arab world, specifically the Palestinian Arabs, with whom we sit in continuous conflict, yet inevitably, if any of us are going to survive in the Middle East, there has to be a resolution of the differences and peaceful coexistence. Now, in order to achieve that coexistence, Kivunim believes, I believe, that Jews have to know Arabic, they have to know about Islam, they have to understand Arabic culture, they have to have a broad perspective on the Middle East. How can you get that within the insular world of Jewish education if you have no Arabs on your staff and your faculty? On the other hand, as you would see in Israel, it's not so easy to get an Arab to want to work within the Jewish world. It feels like you're being a traitor, an Uncle Tom. So what happens? You find a person like Amal who sees a vision of the future. She's not rooted or bogged down in the present. She's a person who understands that where we're going is going to be a different place than where we are today. And she wants to be an actor and a participant in that journey. So she takes this job. If I tell you, without exaggeration, that in the entire history of the Jewish people, Amal Abu-Sif is the first Muslim to hold a senior position of responsibility in a program of Jewish education for Jewish youth, if I'm exaggerating, I might be exaggerating by one, but I can tell you for sure there is no comparable example any time in the modern period. And if there is one, it would be in medieval Spain. I don't think there's one there either. So therefore, her position and role is completely unique.
And I know, Amal, that you invest a lot of energy in working with women and helping them really find the inner strength and find their way to independence. And I would like to hear about that a little bit.
One of the issues that I would like to see from the new government in Israel is to take control about empowering Arab women, to take control of empowering women in the state, and especially in the Arab community. To take control about their education, to support those women to go out and continue their education, and to take control on daycare that allow the women feel free to go out and go to work, and of course to give them to treat them equality and give them more opportunities to go to work and to go and to work in the state.
Actually, women in the Arab society is 51%. It's mean more than a half society in Israel, and we still have one woman a member in the Knesset.
And what happens with Amal is that she, of course, is a classroom teacher teaching Arabic, but she is teaching the humanity of the whole Arab world, the humanity of the of the Muslim religion. And all of that gets communicated to our students. She becomes a representative of a tolerant, open, sympathetic, understanding part of the Islamic world, which is today almost invisible to Americans in general and to Jews in particular. So the significance of her role on Kivunim is really beyond what we can automatically imagine. She is a person who is going to communicate to, without any question, a significant leadership of the American community of the future, both the Jewish community and the American community as a whole. A completely different worldview of what to expect within the Arab world. If you want to build peace, the most important ingredient that you need for building peace is a sense of trust and sympathy, identification with the other side. And Amal's work with our students builds that identification and that sympathetic reaction beyond what anyone could possibly imagine. It opens their hearts, it opens their minds, it opens their souls. And therefore, I can't even begin to tell you how significant that role is that she is playing.
I wish that we also be the women, be all the members of the Knesset, the Arab member of the Knesset. Then there's gonna be change. Then there's gonna be peace. And actually, I believe that peace gonna be when a woman will be the president, president of Israel. This is my belief.
فالحمد لله يعني انه انا راضي عنها بكل معنى الكلمه يعني في مستوى محترم رفعت راسنا بكل المحلات يعني ومنها من نتيجتها يعني علمها بناتها عم باخذوا منها اساس ومبدا كيف يكملوا عمرهم. هاي عندها البنت الكبيره لسه بتشتغل بمكتب حاكم بتل أبيب، حاكم السكرتيرة لحاكم. بنتها الثانية بتتعلم من المحكمة بالجامعة الأردنية بجنين، الجامعة الأمريكانية بجنين. والحمد لله يعني ناجحات في مستوى محترم يعني. فهذا بيجي الخير والنتيجة المستوى إنه لأمهن كيف هي اختارت حياتها كمان بناتها عم يختاروا حياتهم.